lot to cover today. Well, good morning again, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get everything started. Thank you for joining us today for the American Indigenous Tourism Association's webinar series. Today's webinar is in partnership with U.S. Forest Service. My name is Danielle Tehama. I am enrolled Modoc from the Klamath Tribes, and I'm the Education and Business Development Director for AIT. For more than 25 years, American Indigenous Tourism Association has served as the only national organization dedicated to advancing cultural heritage tourism in Native nations and communities across the United States. Established by tribes for tribes to address the inequities in the tourism system, we are a 501c3 national nonprofit governed by an all-Native board of directors, and we serve as a united voice for the $15.7 billion hospitality sector, Native hospitality sector. Correct myself there. Our mission is to define, introduce, grow, and sustain American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian tourism that honors traditions and values while helping businesses become market and export ready for domestic and international markets. Tribes who are looking to start or expand their cultural tourism footprint can find resources at americanindigenous.tourism.org, and visitors interested in learning more about Native culture can visit destinationnativeamerica.com. I'm really excited to have our speakers with us here today. Our first presenter is Ben Rupert, or Bendigenous, as he is known by within the community here. Ben is Duck Valley, Shoshone Paiute, and Washoe, Nevada Indians Territory. Ben's part of Nevada's Indian Territory Leadership Team, a marketing arm of the Nevada Commission on Tourism. He's been the lead on Nevada's Indian Territory destination development of the Great Basin tribal communities. He's a native dancer and traditional artist. His passion is to share his native culture through cultural presentations, dancing, fishing, hunting, traditional art, and being a steward of the Great Basin culture. He recently retired from the City of Reno Fire Department after 33 years in the fire service. Ben is married and has 3 sons and 3 grandchildren. Ben graduated from Oregon State University and recently received a master's in sustainable tourism from Arizona State University. He also served in the U.S. Army as an airborne infantryman. Our next speaker is Tiffany. Tiffany serves as the office manager and job coordinator at Charter Advertising Design Incorporated, where she oversees creative projects and marketing development initiatives. Over the past several years, she's collaborated closely with Nevada's Indian Territory to develop and execute comprehensive brand strategies across both digital and print platforms, producing compelling content that connects visitors and authentic Indigenous stories. In addition to coordinating numerous marketing initiatives for NIT, Tiffany manages the organization's website, nevadasindianterritory.com, including its interactive map and mobile application. I'll now pass it over to our presenters. Please, if you have any questions, use the chat function or the Q&A, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation, time permitting. Ben, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Danielle mentioned Bendigenous. Little funny story how that all evolved is when I retired it's knocking on 6 years now from the fire service of the City of Reno Fire Department. I was kind of trying to figure out what I was going to do in life after that, and I was like, oh man, there's got to be something more to life than being my wife's trophy husband now. So it evolved into me putting in for Arizona State University and getting a master's degree in sustainable tourism. And then I was talking to my brother, and he's like, "What are you going to do now?" And so I was explaining all these things that I'm going to help out our tribes in the state of Nevada with indigenous tourism and trying to do it in a responsible way. And then that's when he nicknamed me Bendigenous, and it has just stuck. So it's kind of given me my new purpose in life. And you guys will probably always remember me as Bendigenous now rather than Ben Rupert. But let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that we wanted to talk about first is Nevada's Indian Territory. And what we did is this was really my project that became my applied project at Arizona State University. But I had a lot of help along the way because not only the things I was learning at Arizona State University, but also through the American Indigenous Tourism Association, which was IANTA at the time. And they created some forms in there that really helped to guide our destination development. And that's what I wanted to bring about today and talk about, are how we incorporated the forms that are in AIT's website as under their resources where you can find it, and how that really was a foundation, gave us a foundation to be able to create our destination. We wanted to set a very, very bold statement. So as far as our vision goes, and so our vision became changing the world through eco-cultural tourism of the Great Basin. And you might ask yourself, what is eco-cultural tourism? Really, what it comes down to is we've all heard of ecotourism, and we've heard of the cultural tourism. What we want to do, especially in the state of Nevada, is have a unique niche. And so what we did is we combined the two together and called it eco-cultural tourism. Now I'm going to have to put on my glasses right here to read this, and you guys will. This is an article that came out recently in High Country News. Actually, one of our officers is a writer, and she wrote this one. And we went out to a nearby lake here, and while I was walking the shorelines, I found these two feathers right on the shoreline, and that's how it became part of the picture right there. And I mentioned before, I mean, I'm not kind of like a walking billboard. I got indigenous all over me right there with the feathers. I've got a Reno Fire Department hat on, and I got Arizona State University as my sweatshirt. Here it goes. Nevada's Indian Territory represents 28 tribes across the state. Our mission is to change the world through eco-cultural tourism. We want visitors to travel to the Great Basin in a meaningful and respectful way, learning our language, stories, and traditions while understanding that this land holds deep indigenous roots. I believe tourism should move beyond merely sustaining culture to regenerating it, connecting people to the environment and to one another. Through our Explore Native Nevada app, which we'll be getting into, travelers can visit our homelands, attend powwows, experience places through their original names and histories, my art, my dance, and even projects like our upcoming Dogo Gunduth, which it's spelled a little bit different on there, but it's pronounced as Dogo Gunduth, which means the heavens above. Observatory are about honoring the land and the heavens above and ensuring that when people come here, they walk away changed with a sense of respect and belonging. I wanted to include that article in there because I thought it was just absolutely fascinating and well-written piece that Alex wrote up on that article, and it really kind of really explains who we are as Nevada's Indian Territory. We help out with destination development, and we have 28 tribes in the state of Nevada, and we pretty much live and die by the grant. We get all of our funding through room taxes that come in there, and there's several different territories, such as the Cowboy Territory, the Pony Express Territory, Reno Tahoe Territory, and they have geographical locations. Whereas we are the whole state of Nevada, so we have 28 tribes. So you look at something like that, and we have to come up with something unique to be able to reach out to the 28 tribes. And we haven't currently worked with every one of the 28 tribes as far as tourism goes, but we are in the process of reaching out to everybody and being inclusive as best as we can with the 28 tribes, because some of our tribes are very small and they're in very remote locations, and so the tourism opportunities there are very small. But we do have cultural events out in some of these locations, and that's where we can come in and help out. Nevada, just to give you a little brief summary, I already mentioned how we wanted to combine our ecotourism along with our cultural tourism together. Nevada is almost 85% public lands. And of that, it's kind of sad to say that this is all of our indigenous homelands of the Great Basin people, is that we have very, very few tribal lands that would be considered tribal or reservation lands. But it does give an opportunity to be able to experience Nevada's ecotourism and travel. You can go just about anywhere. I mean, I live here in Carson City, Nevada, and I'm looking out the window here and I can see Lake Tahoe, and the ski resorts are right here. And you got just a magnificent lake, and then you got all the fishing, the hiking, the exploring, the petroglyphs. This goes on and on. The Valley of Fire down in Las Vegas to being able to go out to Pyramid Lake and catch the world's largest cutthroat trout. I just recently took a gentleman that came down for the American Bus Association tour that happened in Reno, Nevada, and he run an indigenous tourism organization in Canada, and took him out there, and we caught. On the scale of things, it's big, but you can catch them extremely bigger than that. We caught a nice 6 pound cutthroat trout out there, and so he was extremely happy about that. But we have, for example, up in the Duck Valley Shoshone Paiute tribe, we have elk hunts out there, and they're going for $30,000 a hunt out there. And then, as I mentioned before, we have an observatory that we're helping out one of our tribes to put in. It should be installed and completed by the end of this year, and that's going to create ecotourism opportunities to come out and not only learn our culture, but be able to look at the dark skies. Uh, Geographically, the Great Basin, the reason why they call it the Great Basin is that it is none of the water goes out to the ocean. It all stays within the Great Basin. Now, we have some areas that fall out of the Great Basin, such as down there in the Las Vegas area, and where Fort Mojave is down in the Needles area. Now, these are areas that the water drains into the Colorado River and goes out. But primarily speaking, it covers 5 different states. So we have Oregon, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Nevada, and California are all part of the Great Basin. And so this water doesn't go out. Most people think, to our people, we call it Daho. Daho is mispronounced as Tahoe. Lake Tahoe connects the body of water from the Daho area all the way down. It travels down a river and connects into Pyramid Lake. This was very, very a sacred place for not only our Numa people, our Northern Paiute people in the Pyramid Lake area with creation stories, but also they have petroglyphs out there that have been carbon dated over 15,000 years. So I'm not sure somebody might fact check me on this one right here, but I believe that's the oldest known petroglyphs in the United States right now, is that in our area here in the Great Basin. So we have just an unbelievable opportunity to experience the wildlife, and we have national parks, we have national monuments, we have wilderness areas, we have tribal lands that welcome tourism. We have it all here in the state of Nevada. One of the first things we wanted to do is create a map. So we created this map, and we wanted to identify where all of our 28 tribes are located in the state of Nevada. And as I mentioned before, a lot of our tribal lands, such as Fort McDermott's half in Oregon, and then you have the Duck Valley Shoshone Paiute tribe, it's half in Idaho, and you go over to Goshute, and the Goshute tribal lands go into Utah, and then you go down to Timbisha, which is commonly known to most people as Death Valley, but Timbisha, the red ochre clay on the top of the mountains, that's what it's called to the people of, that's their homelands, is Timbisha, and that is primarily in the Lake Tahoe area. The California area. And then the Washoe tribe is the Washoe tribe of Nevada and California. So a good chunk of the area is all. And sadly to say, we don't have a single acre of land that is dedicated to us or is considered our, even though all that area was considered our homeland for the Washoe people. We don't own a single acre of land around the shorelines of Daho Aga, which is the shorelines of Lake Tahoe. So we do have Meeks Bay, which is a resort area, but it is owned by the Forest Service, and we have a lease with the Forest Service to be able to manage that area. It's a beautiful area. I think it's the most magnificent sandy beaches in all of Lake Tahoe area. So we wanted to color code it. So you look at the color of there, you see the blue, you see the tan color, the green colors, all these different colors. And this isn't like this is where their homeland. This is just kind of generally speaking. So you can, because we were very nomadic. We followed throughout the Great Basin. All the tribes travel throughout the Great Basin for their hunting and fishing and being able to sustain a life in a very delicate but in a very harsh environment also at the same time. So that's what we start off with, and you see it's all numbered on there, and it identifies all the different the tribal the tribes in the state of Nevada. And you'll find out how important this map becomes too, because we get calls all the time wanting to utilize it for voting for the state of Nevada to help them out. We also, as Tiffany will speak, and you'll see how this became one of the building blocks for our navigation app is to utilize this map. Then we, as I mentioned before, with Nevada's Indian Territory, we live and die by the grant. We get our funding from room tax fee. We are strictly a volunteer organization, so we don't get paid for any of the things we do. But with my new purpose in life and being able to have all the, as a retiree, being able to dedicate a lot of my time to helping out with our destination development. We travel around to travel trade shows. We are market ready through both domestically and internationally. We offer individual tours that you can do, and these are all self-guided type tours. So anybody traveling into Las Vegas, to coming over to Reno, traveling throughout the state of Nevada can utilize our website access and our navigation app to have itineraries to be able to travel around. We thought it was very important to try and go as green as possible. So what we did is we created a beautiful brochure of the state of Nevada, and it breaks down the tribes, it breaks down just the whole location of the Nevada's Indian Territory. And that is also found on our website and also on our navigation app. We created a photo library which has over 30,000 photos throughout the state of Nevada. This is all from cultural events to wildlife to scenic. And you can see when you look off the side right there, those are all just photographs that we have that are in our photograph library that we can utilize. From the desert bighorn sheep that are throughout the state of Nevada to that's my niece, who is our chairperson for Nevada's Indian Territory, that has a mass, and she's always on me because she's saying, "Hey, you know, we caught this fish right here, and this thing here is about 12 pounds, but just recently caught a 20 pounder." So she's on me to trade out this photograph to put, this is one of those things where bigger is better, right? So that's what we're going to be putting on there very soon, is a big picture of her with a 20-pound Lahontan cutthroat trout caught on a fly rod. Just absolutely amazing. Then the corner picture over there, you see that's taking the niece out on Daho is on a canoe ride. And it's just, and then we have the wilderness areas you can see up there. Nevada is what I call a jackpot of areas. You can just go anywhere in the state of Nevada, and then you might hit desert area for quite a while, and then you're going to hit a jackpot area that just, it's just absolutely magnificent as far as the beauty goes. We created our strategic development plans and itineraries. The strategic development plan, this beadwork that you see right here, this is our logo, and what it is just a basket weaving stitches, and it represent what we called our strategic development plan as many tribes, one destination. And that's a picture of me doing an eagle dance that's underneath here. I can't wait. Well, you can see it on the actual slide right there under Nevada's Indian Territory. But a lady beaded this whole thing and gave it to me that has Nevada, that has me doing an eagle dance here, and then has our logo for Nevada's Indian Territory. So we developed a strategic development plan. We have developed our new navigation app that Tiffany is definitely going to get involved with. And I don't want to take anything from her, but we are so excited. This is something that we can just go anywhere, and people can pull up online and be able to travel around through that out the entire state of Nevada and some of the outlining states too, and be able to experience our indigenous culture. We do powwow marketing grants where we help out a lot of our different powwows in the state of Nevada through marketing grants. We have an events calendar, not only on our website, a cultural events calendar, but we also have it on our navigation app. We have interpretive signs that we help out with, and we can use these cultural one sheets to develop them into interpretive signs. And we can also change around because we have that huge photo album library, and so we can work with each tribe to be able to help out with creating all these different interpretive signs. We work with the Great Basin artists, and here in the state of Nevada, we as I mentioned, the Duck Valley Shoshone Pike, which is Dogo Gunduth, which means the heavens above. We helped out to write a grant for putting up, and you guys will like this, the very first observatory on tribal lands. Now, there are tribal lands out there, such as at Kaibab, that have dark skies communities, but having our own, very own observatory on tribal lands, this should be the first in the nation. We create these cultural one sheets and we do marketing videos. If we have enough time, we have a video that we put together from a crew that came out of Hollywood to help us create a tour or a video on how to responsibly travel around the shorelines of Daho'aga or Lake Tahoe. And one of the big things we've been using now lately to steer a lot of traffic. We took our traffic from going from about 10,000 hits on our website in a year to well over knocking on 500,000 to even more. I think it's going to be quite a bit more coming up this year here. So we've really increased the amount of traffic coming onto our websites. What we did is we wanted to start off and we wanted to utilize, if you go into the AIT's website and you go under resources, you'll see two different forms in there. They may look like they're the same forms, but take a look at it because you want to look at the one is a companion resource and the other one is called a visitor tool. This was really the big guiding force for us doing our strategic development plan. I'll go over the first one right here, which is how to utilize this tool. It shows you where to go to be able to download this off of AITA's website. And then it's got some procedures there that you can go through that is going to be help you to develop your destination. And this is exactly what we use. We use these two forms right here to create everything that we're presenting today. This became part of not only our destination development, but also with my master's degree at Arizona State University. It talks to you about how you're engaging responsible visitors through you hear the big saying, we are still here, let us tell our story. This is a big one here. And my understanding is that this is created with the working with it says down there IANTA, but it's AITA. They're in the process of changing all this out right now. And then also Leave No Trace. And then they had a working group with several different tribes that represent tourism throughout the country to be the steering committee to oversee this. So this is a very valuable tool. It's been ran through many different tribal tourism organizations to come up with an effective tool to be able to allow you to tell your own story. It talks to you about posting your story on your website. We had to go back and revamp our entire website. So that's the first thing we did there. And then it talks about how to utilize, things like Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok. And so all these social media platforms are out there. And what we did to do, not only did we created our own different types of social links on here, but we also went out and hired influencers. And that has been a big game changer as to it allows them, they work with us, we write up the stories, we're directly involved with everything that we're put together. And we even been going into US parks to going into Pinterest. And at first, when I heard Pinterest, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? It's been amazing how much of an influence Pinterest can have on there. In addition, we all know what Facebook and Instagram can do, but these are some other resources that you can utilize that they talk about that's on this tool here. And then continuing on here, it talks about just how you go about telling your story, and it talks about incorporating QR codes, and we'll break down our navigation app here real soon to talk about. Our cultural one sheets to show the QR codes and how we're utilizing QR codes in our cultural one sheets. We also it talks about booking. Since as I mentioned before, we're doing all individual self-guided type tours. We're trying to steer the traffic out to all of our tribal lands through our through our artists, through our cultural events that are out there, and anybody getting to be able to have the opportunity to experience the eco-cultural tourism for all of our tribal lands. So that kind of gives you a rundown of utilizing that first form right there. And I'm just kind of quickly going through this because I'm looking at the time that we have. But I wanted to get into this one right here and then show you how we actually made a working project out of the two forms that the American Indigenous Association has put together, along with Leave No Trace. This one right here, you can see it says, "Welcome to our ancestral lands." So you want to identify who you are as a tribal nation. You want to be able to say that things like where we locate, where are our homelands, what language are we speaking out there, how do we effectively communicate? Is there different opportunities? Like we have one area up at Lake Tahoe, and it's a trilingual, so it's in both in Spanish and Washu, and then also the American English language. And then responsible and respectful visitors. What we've done on this is we've taken the opportunity, and number 6 here is to create what we call sustainability pledges. So I keep coming back to Daho, and we wanted to let everybody know that the correct word is Daho. Daho Aga means the lake shore of Lake Tahoe. So we have the Daho Pledge, and it goes through all the different types of sustainability pledges to support everything that you see right here in this form right here, and let people know for cultural awareness, cultural identity, how they can help out the tribe in different ways. And then moving on to number 7 right here, it talks about uh, allowing people to have questions and answers. And this is where we created our own tag on, I'm not sure even that's the right word, a little icon that's on top of the website that has just Q&A, and it's on our website. And we also put this into question and answers into our navigation app. So we have an upcoming powwow down in Las Vegas, and you can click on there. It tells you the dates, the times, if there's a fee there, what it's going for, questions and answers, or a Q&A little section on there. That's all. So you have the availability to put Q&A on your website, also on this navigation app, and be able to help the tourists that are coming in so that they're traveling in a very responsible and respectful way. Number 8 talks about, how can they support you? We have QR codes that leads into different philanthropy projects. We have the video that we hope to show at the end of this right here on how to responsibly travel around the shorelines of Daho Aga. And then we also put that into our cultural one sheets. So everybody that's looking at our cultural one sheets that we've designed out there are seeing these opportunities to be able to help out different types of museums and different types of philanthropy projects, and just the things that such as forest restoration that the tribes are very heavily involved with. And then on number 9 here is our resources. Where can you learn more about us? And so we always try to direct the traffic not to us to explain who each one of these tribes are, but to their tribal website, or it could be to the cultural resource department of there. And these are all things that we sit down and work with each tribe to make sure that we're steering traffic in the right direction. So I mentioned these cultural one sheets, and you can see right here, the Washu means the Washu people, and Daho Aga, as I'd mentioned, means the shorelines of Lake Tahoe. So we we meet with the cultural resource department. We make sure that we have the correct spelling out there, and also making sure that we're working with the tribes, which is extremely important to allow each tribe to tell their story, but also to be able to emphasize the things that they want to put on there. So we, for example, we have you see how it's spelled, even though it's a little bit different on the actual spelling. The main idea is for people to look at that and see the D, the A, and the O. I mean the W, and that second O is actually pronounced as or second A is pronounced as an O. So Daho, and the way to remember it is we all heard Tahoe. Just put a D in front of it, and so you have the correct way to say it, Daho, Tahoe. Um, and so we identified all of our homelands. We put language in here. We have all on here. We have the correct way to say bear, the correct way to say Daho, the correct way to say Meeks Bay that I mentioned as a resort. We put down the sustainability pledge that we have on there. And we laminate these guys here so it's in a nice big sheet. So when we're traveling around to travel trade shows, we can sit there and they can scan this right here, or they can download our navigation app. And so there's multiple ways that they can look at these different cultural sheets out there. We have signature events, interests that are on there. We have for the signature events, we have the Meeks Bay Resort. We have the big cultural festival, which is Washishu Ite, which means homelands, but it's also our Indigenous Culture and Arts Festival. We have projects where we work with the U.S. Forest Service with a trilingual audio tour to talking stories that go around the shorelines. Like we've heard the Tahoe Rim, so we incorporate some different interpret signs, excuse me, and they have their economic development of the Waishishu Plaza, also a couple different smoke shops that are identified down here. And they just recently put up a big sawmill for fire restoration. That's a big thing there. And then as you move over to the right side there, you'll see the QR codes. We directed traffic to the Washoe Tribes Cultural Resource Department. We have a QR code that you can scan, that you can see the video on how to responsibly travel around the shoreline. And then when you go down to the bottom there, you'll see another QR code, and this takes you to an itinerary. So if you're coming into the lake and you don't have our navigation app, but you also are, and you're looking for a way to travel around the shorelines of Daho Aga, you can go into that QR code and it takes you on an itinerary. One thing I wanted to mention too, and I think it's really important, is that when you're going through our website, if you don't know anything about our navigation app, you'll see that navigation is always in your face. It's always saying, hey, click here to set up your own itinerary. So you can always be able to have access to download. And I think that's an important thing to pass on, to make sure that you are always making everybody available. So it's nice and easy format. When you look at our website, you see all the really important things that we want to get out right there, talking about our 5 different major tribes. And then it all leads into this navigation app. And I don't want to take anything from Tiffany. I know we're looking at the time right now. I think we got it just about where I was going to talk about for 30 minutes on, and this is going to lead into Tiffany talking about how this actual visit widget was put into place to be able to give us a navigation app that you can scan and travel around anywhere in the Great Basin and set up your own itineraries to see in the different cultural events out there. And it has over 70 different destinations that you can travel around to. So I will turn it on over to Tiffany. Thank you guys for your time.
Good morning. Um, as I've been introduced as, I'm Tiffany Stonecipher, and I've lived in South Lake Tahoe since I was, or I should say Daho, since I was a baby. For the past 25 years, I've worked at Charter Advertising and Design as the office manager and website content manager. And today I'm really excited to share how Nevada's Indian Territory is using technology and storytelling to transform how people experience Indigenous Nevada through their new app called Explore Native Nevada. The app that we use, or Explore Native Nevada, was created using a visit widget tool. It is a dynamic digital map that helps visitors explore and plan their experiences with real-time interaction. Users can browse, filter, and engage with points of interest, tours, events, and itineraries directly on the map interface. It allows us to organize stories, locations, and experiences into an all-in-one digital journey. The platform includes a trip planning and itinerary building tool, allowing prospective visitors to discover experiences and plan their trip. Because this map is accessible on the website and by an app on the smartphone, visitors can plan their trips at home on their desktop and experience them on the road via their smartphone. Visit widget bridges this gap seamlessly. Other map features that we can use are gamification and augmented reality. They can enhance visitor engagement by turning exploration into a rewarding experience. Whether it's a digital passport or an outdoor adventure challenge, augmented reality and gamification are innovative tools that enhance the tourism experience while promoting responsible practices. Let's see. Okay. Travelers today plan trips digitally and expect information to be accessible, mobile, and authentic. For tribal destinations, it's especially important that stories are shared accurately and respectfully. And the Nevada's Indian Tory website's interactive map and Explore Native Nevada's app comes in and it puts Indigenous voices, destinations, and values directly into the hands of the travelers. On the website, you can access the map by clicking down there in the bottom right corner, and it will walk you through setting up an account and then like the training and all that of how to access or how to add to your itinerary and like how to use, and even with the app, how to use the app, like it will walk you through it when you first download it. So this is the visit widget map on Nevada's Indian Territory. Each of these icons that you see on the map can be clicked on, and then you can see kind of the experiences there on the left-hand side as well. But each of those you can click on, and then it will pop up either a video or a picture that will have the description of the place as well as telling a story or sharing its history, the culture, the sacredness of the area. There's events and unique information about that destination. Within the map, one can click the Add button on the locations that interest them, and it will create a travel itinerary for the visitor. Explore Native Nevada's app is available for smartphones to download from Google Play or the Apple App Store. It is created to be completely interactive with the website, as well as having everything all in one place for the visitor to access while planning and traveling through Nevada's Indian Territory. Experiencing Indigenous destinations, culture experiences, and natural landscapes while encouraging responsible, respectful travel throughout the tribal lands. So this is sorry. Nevada is home to 5 major American Indian tribes: the Washoe, the Northern Paiute, Southern Paiute, the Shoshone, and Fort Mojave, each with their unique culture and traditions, yet united by a deep understanding and respect for their environment. Visitors can plan and travel an itinerary within each tribal destination area. And then here's that map that we're trying to keep. It's on a trade show. We're just trying to keep consistency with the website, the app, and everything with this map that was developed. There are 28 federally recognized tribes that stretch across Nevada, each with its own distinct traditions, languages, and histories passed down through generations. While each tribe is unique, they are connected through shared values, resilience, and deep cultural ties to their lands. Inside the app, users can explore information about all 28 tribes as we collected as well. We're still collecting quite a bit, but this is what we'll be doing. Access cultural sheets with a calendar of events, or access cultural sheets, view a calendar of events, watch videos through the YouTube channel, and discover more than 70 Indigenous destinations statewide. One of the most powerful features is the ability for travelers to build their own itineraries based on interests, location, and time. Explore Native Nevada includes cultural curated itineraries that Ben explained that for the major tribes in Nevada, and they're guides to help travelers toward authentic experiences, such as cultural sites, museums, outdoor recreation, and tribal events. And here's the other two. The curated routes allow travelers to create their own itineraries, like I said, empowering them while still encouraging sustainable choices and learning about the culture and respect and awareness of tribal protocols and stewardship, with a flow of consistency connecting each piece together. In the experiences tab, there are 70, there are over 70 indigenous experiences the traveler can add to their itinerary. And once the experiences are added, the app will create a custom travel plan with routes and destinations and guided tours. Um, so this is the events calendar, and this is on the website. But the cultural we post cultural events, powwows, art shows, gatherings, and this is within the website and also accessible on the app. Travelers can discover these events and plan their trips around the events they are interested in attending. It's the YouTube link, and it's accessible from the website as well as the app. And it teaches visitors like how to travel well. It gives them information about the different tribes before they go, or even while they are in those locations. They can see a video or see a powwow and just start to see like the culture and the different things that they'll want to experience. It allows the tribes to share their stories in their own voices while helping travelers arrive informed and respectful. We use digital brochures, the digital culture sheets, videos, QR codes, and interactive content um, to market this destinations, but it's not just a marketing destination. They invite action, they guide behavior, deepen understanding, and align travel with values. And then, yeah, here's the digital brochure that, and the cultural sheets is just kind of a thing of like a lot of the stuff that has been turned to digital that you can access on the website and on the app. And as Ben explained, the QR codes and things all go to other resources and videos and different things that can help the traveler be more informed. Okay, so right now we are developing the Dark Skies webpage for Nevada's Indian Territory. And right now it's under construction and we're currently linked to the National Park Service website. But the development of the Dark Skies website page will be a resource for telling the history and teaching passed down generations, shared culture, traditions, educating visitors about the importance of protecting and restoring the night skies, as well as providing information about the new observatory on Nevada tribal lands, which is very exciting. Okay. I'm going to close up with my last thing, then we're going to play this video. So the interactive map tool on the website and the app is going to continually have more content and resources added as we continue to develop it and reach out to the different communities and be able to get their information, their stories, their videos, like what they want to give to us to share. There are so many opportunities in this all-in-one travel app. For example, with Pony Express Territory, we have added trails that we pull in from alltrails.com and customize them to match the branding and categorize them into recreational activities such as equestrian riding trail, hiking trail, mountain biking, nature walk, or an interpretive walk. The trails are embedded into the interactive map and without the visitor having to leave the app and download another Trails app. It keeps them all just onto our app and not having to leave it or download a bunch of other unnecessary apps that this can cover. Another map feature that I had mentioned earlier is the gamification and augmented reality. that can enhance visitor engagement by turning exploration into a rewarding experience. With the Pony Express Tour, we have a survival guide passport that highlights destinations in each of the communities that the visitor will need to visit, and they get badges. For example, they will upload a selfie or a video of themselves at that location. Some locations will have an audio story or video that will pop up telling a story of the history or importance of the location. As as they travel across Nevada and complete their tasks, they earn badges. So as you can see, Visit Widget transforms how destinations connect with travelers by putting authentic stories, locations, and experiences right in their hands. So thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day and giving me this opportunity to explain and share this really cool app that we've developed.
Thank you, Tiffany. Ben, did you want to set us up for this video?
I certainly can. One thing I wanted to mention before we get into the video too is that the American Indigenous Tourism Association, I think I said that right. I'm trying to change it from AANTA or IANTA. So I'm trying to use the correct acronym for it. But I just wanted to let everybody know too that this visit widget is also with it's changed, and it was called something else, but it's the same platform that the AIT is using. It's called American Indigenous Tourism. Let's see, no, it's called destinationnativeamerica.com. Destinationnativeamerica.com. And that's for all of the entire United States. And it's utilizing the same platform. What we plan to do is once we get ours completed here, we are going to be using, and we'll just convert it right on over into their platform. And there are already numerous destinations that you'll see that are already on there. We're just a small portion of what they have for Destination Native America. But I wanted to let everybody know too that it's a free service. If you're a tribal organization or if you have economic development, get a hold of AIT, because you can use this their navigation app to promote tourism for your tribe or for your tribal economic development, whatever you have, like if you're an artist or promoting something else like that. So I wanted to give you a little dig on that one to say, hey, utilize their platform. It's a free service. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
The audio wasn't too good with it, but we'll see how it goes along with it.
Well, it
Uh,
looks like
I
we,
bounced out of it just because we weren't having any sound at all with it. Um,
okay.
if you, I would encourage you to take a look at this video. This is just, it is so well put together. And we partnered with Nevada's Indian Territory along with the National Forest Foundation, and Colleen, who is now working for AIT, was very instrumental in helping us to be able to get this video together along with Travel Nevada. And we're super proud of it. You could see it on our website. You could see it on this navigation app, and you can definitely see the value of being able to put videos on this navigation app and also your website. So one thing I wanted to tell everybody, we got just a little bit of time here, I see, is that I recently traveled down to New Zealand, and I make traditional bows, and you'll see on the bows I put different things where I met water down in the in New Zealand with the Maoris. Also met fire with Pele over in Hawaii, and these have been big guiding forces for me to be spiritually do the things that I enjoy love to do. And here is the bear that I met in the tip top of Alaska while hunting up there, and I actually lived up in a small Alaska Native village. That's where I graduated from high school. And then the bighorn sheep, which brings me wisdom, is right here in our homelands in the Great Basin. But on here, you'll see that there's 7 stars that's on here. These 7 stars are what is known when we travel around the world doing presentations. We see this common story pop up throughout the around the world, from the Aboriginals from Australia linking their 7 original tribes to the 7 star formation. When we were down in New Zealand, the Maoris have Matariki. Matariki was talked about how there's during a certain time of the year, 2 more stars appear, and it's believed to be this is this each one of the stars represents a sister, and the 2 other ones that appear are considered to be their parents. So it's the beginning of their new year, and we've heard over Devil's Tower the story of the 7 sisters and how the bear was chasing the 7 sisters, and then just as the bear was putting all those grooves around the Devil's Tower, and I apologize not knowing the actual indigenous name of Devil's Tower, but just as about the bear was about ready to go, they prayed, and then they became the 7 star formation, and then Subaru, and that it calls it, well, the Japanese call it Subaru. And you go out and look at the emblem, and I counted it, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, there's only 6 stars here. Where's the 7 star? The 7th star is believed to be hidden by the planet Jupiter. And then we heard the common name for it that you hear through Greek is Pleiades. And so this is just fascinating to travel, and the Hawaiians have a version of the 7 star formation, and that's just what I know. And they found this shield over in Europe, and it's the oldest known um, piece to represent the star formation, and it has the 7 stars that are on there. So when I was down there in New Zealand, I was woken up in the middle of the night, and some of you guys might think, well, what end of the crack pipe is this guy smoking? But when I was down there, I was woken up in the middle of the night, and the voice came to me and says, what do you want? And then I talked to, and I believe the traditional name is Tungora, said that Tungora came to you in the middle of the night and is offering you to do whatever, what do you want from him? And that's what became my guiding force to writing up a grant to be able to fund the very first observatory known as Dogo Gundu on our tribal lands in the Duck Valley Shoshone Paiute tribe. So I just wanted to throw that out and let everybody know that, that if your heart is in the right place, and all these things, these wonderful things, and you're just trying to better our people and to be able to do it in a very responsible and respectful way, that you're creating your story and you're allowing us to tell our own story. That's the most important thing about it. And you will be guided to do the right things at the right time.
Thank
So
you, Ben.
I guess we should probably open it up. Do we have questions? Do you want to do any questions?
I don't see any direct questions. So we still have a few minutes before we go into our last couple slides, but open to any comments, or if you want to use the Q&A feature. Give a shout out to Central Oregon. I see Christine McConnell on here, as well as Lena from AOT. It's good to see you both. Gina Pearson has presented for us in the past. Love the comments, Gina. And yes, it's nice to see dark skies.
Yeah, Gina was very helpful on us and getting the grant out there for the Duck Valley Shoshone Paiute tribe, and also put in a letter of recommendation from the National Park Service. And so, and it is always reaching out to me to find out how the progress is going with our observatory.
Well, I might give people a few more minutes back in their day then. And just to go over again, all of these resources are going to be emailed out to everyone who registered for this webinar. And I did see Sherry put the link to the YouTube video, but we'll send that out an email as well. And we encourage you to check out all the resources on AmericanIndigenousTourism.org. That is our B2B site. our staff and partners really work collaboratively to support Indigenous tourism all across the U.S. And also on our website, additional training opportunities, free resources. You can visit the site for more information regarding our certificate programs, other upcoming webinars, past webinars that are recorded, and other upcoming events. We do have our Go International virtual summit coming up in April. Again, that website, AmericanIndigenousTourism.org. And also please consider signing up for our weekly newsletter, the Rupert Report, to keep up with all things Indigenous tourism. Ben and Tiffany, thank you so much for being with us today. Ben, we'll see you February 17th at 10 a.m. Mountain for another session. So thank you all for joining us today, and we'll follow up soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Ben and Tiffany, I do see a quick question from Richard before I close out. And Richard, I'm not sure if you're still on. It says, I recently opened a tours and excursion company, Lummi Tours LLC. How do I look for funding for-profit businesses that help our Native community?
Okay. That what I would direct. Did you say it was Richard?
Richard.
I would direct Richard to is that to get on to the Rupert report, go on to AIT website, make sure that you're getting the Rupert report. And I think it's like once a month, you guys are always sending out all the different grant opportunities, not only for tribes, but also for individual native-owned businesses to be able to put in for these grants. So I think that is absolutely the best resource right there that you could utilize.
I do see a comment from our CNP director, Colleen. I just brought you into the presenter. I don't know if you want to come off mute and give any information to Richard. I'll give you a second just in case. I know I'm
Yes,
putting
thank
you
you.
on the spot.
Thank you. I don't know if my camera's on or not, but Richard, it's so nice to meet you. I would offer that in Washington State, which is where I am located as well. This is one of the 5 regions where we will be focused on the CNP program, which are totally free workshops. There'll be 3 in Washington State starting in April with Western Washington, likely on the Olympic Peninsula. We'll do one in October in conjunction with our upcoming annual conference, the AITC Conference, American Indigenous Tourism Conference at Tulalip in October. So you can catch those incredibly amazing free resources there. And then in November, we'll do one in Eastern Washington. But this is for everybody. We have 5 states that we're focused on. It will be Arizona, Alaska, California, Minnesota, and Washington State as we launch this trial program through the Forest Service. And it's 16 hours of training that is focused on the very thing that you're asking about, resources and pre and post award training and assistance for getting access to those federal funds for profit businesses in the Indigenous and Native owned space. So look forward to seeing you there. And we'll again announce these things through the Rupert report as well as our website. So do watch our socials, sign up for that newsletter, and we'll hope to see you there. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Colleen. And Brad
Danielle,
Robinson, you just got Ben Rupert's email in the chat. I'm sorry, go ahead,
yeah.
Ben.
And I was going to say on our website, and then you also have my cell numbers on there. I'm retired. What are they going to do? They can't fire me or anything. So I put my cell number on there. Brad, reach out to me via cell phone too, if that works out, and I can definitely help you out in any way when you come in here to the state of Nevada.
All right. For those that stayed along with us, thank you so much. We'll follow up shortly. We hope to see you on the 17th for an additional webinar with Ben Rupert. Thank you, Tiffany and Ben, and we will see you next time.